that. So I mentioned to you guys last week that I've had some very prominent ministers in the kingdom hire me, and then one of them got COVID, right? Which is crazy, right? Like right when we started, and he called me. He's like, "Well, I guess I really need your help now, right?" And guys, Lisa and I really don't know a lot of people that have gotten it, but the ones that we do, we know, have the same common factors. And I'm just going to tell you guys, if you will take this information that I'm sharing with you guys and you will implement it the rest of your life. Now I know I'm gonna see Linda smile, because we say we need to divorce the outcome, Linda, and we need to marry the process. Does everybody understand what that means? I know Linda does now, because we walked that out and we understood that. It means that, and I talked to Madeline about this too. We have to look at where we're going, not where we've been. Okay. So if we continue to look at where we are, I said this to Frank a couple weeks ago. I said, you know, the worst bumper sticker ever in any car ever is the one that says coexist, right? Do you know why? Because nobody on this Zoom wants to coexist. If you are, you're in the wrong place. Okay. And so I want you guys to not limp home, right? Like we talk about, right? We're not, how many of you don't want to limp home the rest of your journey with here on earth? Not, right? Nobody wants to, right? And so the factor that I find when I do onboarding calls with people, so after I do their DNA test and it comes back the results, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how significant it is, and I want to challenge you guys that if you do nothing with me, that you take advantage of getting this DNA test done. Maybe some of you can afford it, maybe some of you can't. I'm going to give it to you for what I pay for it through the lady that does it. Some of you, I will be able to help you with that. And what I will tell you guys to do is just talk to me privately about that, because let me just tell you some of the things that this test does. And I'll just say this: I almost turned the news on today to see what was going on with the election, but I didn't. Okay, and I'm just going to tell you something really cool that only about 3 other people know. Okay, that testing only 1% of practitioners in the world do. Okay, I now have 4 people working for Lisa and I that do the testing. Okay, hold on one second. My wife just pause 1 second. I got to ask her a question. All right. So let me go back through this with you guys and show you kind of a little bit more of what that looks like. And so let me give you an idea of some of the things that happen. I shared some of this on Sunday with Madeline and Frank. Like, I have a lady right now that just did the test with me. She's from Canada, super sick, 41 years old. I did the testing that I talked about last week in our presentation. Came back, had mold on her test. She's like, I don't know how that's possible. She had a mold examiner come out. Her entire basement was covered with mold behind the walls. Okay. She'd been breathing it in for 3 years and super sick. And so here's the next thing that I'm really excited about. And I probably will be more excited in a couple of days when we really know who wins the election. But President Trump has had experience with the testing with his family and got phenomenal results, and he's going to be endorsing the testing that we do in January or February, which you guys are the first people to hear about that. So that's how exciting it is. That's how, when you have, you know, when you do something new, like I'm going to use Gary, for instance, just came on. He's taken on photography, right? And he's phenomenal. And I'll tell him he's waited too long to bless us all with his gifts and talents, right? But he's super at it. You guys, have you seen any of his work? Like, it's just phenomenal. And so he's stepping into those gifts and talents. I feel like this is something that God has blessed us with. and we're going to be able to bless more people with that. Now, you saw Lisa do the test price down there. That does not include the consultation with us, okay? I just have to tell you guys that, because with as busy as I am, I would love to do a free consultation with all of you, but it's just not possible, okay? So, and I want you guys to know that. So but I will do this as we go through, just hopefully that's all of you. You guys will win a prize, and then you can win 30 minutes with me. And if you do the test, then you guys get it? Okay, you guys got it, right? Me and Miss Madeline, we had a great talk the other day. We dove in. We had some really good conversation, and I believe that she now understands the magnitude of where she's going to go and where her health is going to go. And I believe that that's why we're here. I believe you guys are all here for a plan and for a purpose and for a time for you guys to really transform your health and your life. And I believe that if you really dive into this and you keep implementing it, you're going to see that. So let me start with the quiz. Who wants to win a prize, right? All right. So let's start with the quiz. And it's going to be real easy tonight because it's going to be quick, because it's going to be true and false. How many of you liked the true and false games when you were growing up, like the easy ones? I was on trying to get some Christmas gifts last night, and every time I went to put my number in for something on Madeline's live, somebody else took it from me, right? So now, and she's laughing. See, she's laughing because she knows I was on there. She saw me on there, and I'm just going to have to try next time, right? So you'll have to remind me, Madeline, when you do those, so that I can get some Christmas gifts. So so here's what I want to tell you. Here is the quiz, all right? It's really simple, and if you guys are paying attention the last couple of weeks, you'll kind of know. All right, so let's go over them. So it's just true and false. There's 8 questions, okay? 8 questions, true and false, all right? All of them are true and false. Gas, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, and heartburn. Now remember, you have to read through all these, okay? They could be tricky, all right?
I can't see anything
can
on
all
my
be
screen.
signs of an unhealthy gut, true or false. Keep that to yourself. Write it down on your piece of paper, all right? Number 2, a key preventing or reversing leptin resistance is reducing diet-induced inflammation from a ketogenic diet. True or false? 50% of your immune system resides in your gut. True or false? To increase richness and diversity, you need 4 things. Okay? Increase food variety, eliminate processed foods, or 3 things, I'm sorry. Try not to take antibiotics. True or false? Okay? Know your bedtime and stick to one sleep schedule. The time you go to bed at night is most important. True or false? Okay? Number 6, light exercise like walking in the evening can help people fall asleep faster and have deeper sleep. True or false? That's a tricky one. I threw that one in there on you guys, okay? Sleeping in a colder room can improve your sleep quality and even help combat insomnia. True or false? Okay. Are we doing good so far? All right, here we go. Last one. This is the tricky one, or maybe it's not a tricky one. Far infrared sauna. Lisa and I have one in the room over there. The results of these sauna effects are a release of muscle tension throughout the entire muscular system. This triggers the brain and tells it that your body is ready to go to sleep. It also releases toxins. True or false? All right.
Okay.
How did we all do? Did everybody think they did really good today? Okay, let's see. Here we go. All right, you guys ready for the answers? The first one is true. It's true. Okay. The second one is false. It's not keto, it's paleo. Okay. The third one, to increase richness and diversity. 4 things: increased food variety, eliminate processed foods, and try not to take antibiotics. I have it down as, let's see, I think I have that one wrong. Yes, it's true. Okay. True. All right. Number 5. Okay. Know your bedtime and stick to it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm back on where I'm at. Okay. Know your bedtime and stick to it. The time you go to bed at night is most important. That is false. It's the time you wake up is most important. Okay. Number 6. Light sleepwalking in the evening can help people fall asleep faster and have deep sleep. True or false? That is true. Okay. Sleeping in a cold room can improve your sleep quality and even help you combat insomnia. That is true. And last but not least, far infrared sauna, the results that these sauna effects are released of muscle tension throughout the entire muscular system. This triggers the brain and tells you that your body is ready to go to sleep. That is true. So we had a lot of truths and just a couple falses tonight. So anybody get 8?
Mm-mm.
Did anybody get 8? Who got 8? Kathy Wilson got 7. Eddie said he failed. Anybody do better than 7? Type it down in the chat if you did better than 7. Frank did 7. Okay. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have 2 winners tonight. Okay? 2 winners. All right? All right. And so Kathy and Frank, Lisa will put a link to my schedule down there, and you can schedule one of the 30-minute. We had 4 people win now. All right. Let me think about that. Let me think about that. Okay. I will probably just do it for all 4 of you guys, but let me just, let me
Just
figure
probably
it out.
not all this week.
Yes, not all this week. So maybe what we can do is I'll figure it out. So let me escape here and get back into where we were. Stop sharing for a second. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pull up. Lisa did a great job of making a OneNote for this, and I want to go over this with you guys because I think it's super important that you guys can see this. So and if you don't, Lisa has been adding this to it, but if you guys want this, we can send this to you, the OneNote, if you have OneNote. I want you guys to really go back and look at some of these things. Like, guys, did you see what I said about leptin resistance and how you can reverse that with a diet-induced inflammation, or reducing inflammation through paleo diet? When we last did our inflammation marker test through a company called Viome, Lisa and I were in the lower 5% of all breathing humans. Why? It's not that we eat perfect. It's the majority of the time. And so I'm going to share some things with you guys today that I think is very, very important. Okay. I'm going to go over some stuff on hydration that I think will really influence the way you think about hydration. Because I want you guys to kind of understand a little bit of the bigger picture of this hydration thing. Okay, so I pulled up. Let me find out where I put this. I put something in here for you guys. I just have to find it because I've had 3 or 4. Let me stop sharing and I'll pull up this other screen for you guys. Let me pull up one more of these. This other screen here for you guys. This presentation that I'm putting together, you guys, is the reason Lisa said it is I'm having a 5-day challenge that's coming up, and it's pretty significant. But there was one thing I wanted to share with you guys tonight as we go through this review, and I found this slide and I wanted to pull it up for you guys because I wanted you guys to see it. I want you to think about the importance of the water that you guys drink. Okay. Now you guys know me, I'm a John Maxwell person. So I'm going to edify somebody in the group tonight. I'm going to edify Frank. Okay. Because I saw Frank on Sunday. He had his bottle of lemon water. Okay. Let me explain. So he's got it right there with him right now. Now, let me just explain something to you. I want you guys to look at just from drinking more water. I want you to look at the slide that is on your left facing when you're facing the screen. Look at the things that will happen if you drink 0.6 to 0.8 times your body weight in water every single day. you remove toxins, you cushion your joints, you fuel muscles, strengthen your immune system, helps clear your skin, boosts productivity, reduces fatigue, promotes weight loss, enhances metabolism, enhances your energy. Now look, here's the only problem. 87 out of 25,000 people polled last year, 89% of humans did not drink enough water. Okay, makes sense why we have such sickness and disease. And look at what happens when you squeeze a lemon in your water. Okay, pHs it, makes it alkaline. Okay, aids in digestion, purifies your blood, rejuvenates your skin. If you're sick, if you ever do get sick, like I can't remember when the last time I was sick, reduces inflammation. If you have a toothache, drink lemon water. You should be drinking it anyway, but these are showing you some things. Decreases wrinkles and blemishes, replenishes the respiratory system, helps purify and stimulate your liver, guys. I know people that have had massive liver damage that have just began to drink lemon water and their liver damage was reversed. Okay, guys, these are little simple things that you can do to make a massive difference in your life. Okay, and then if you remember on week 2, we talked about sleep hacks. Now let me ask you guys a question. Has anybody had improvement in their sleep since we started talking about it? Anybody at all? Okay, Miss Kathy has. Okay, anybody else? Can anybody else just put a me down? Okay, Tanya, awesome. Gary, awesome. Guys, and that's what you have to do. Let me just explain something. When I pull my clients in a group, okay, when they talk about these things and they implement the things, there's a couple things that I want you guys to think about when you're doing this, when you're doing this. Okay, so let me pull this back up so you can see this. Honey, I'll put that slide back up in a minute. Let me just put up this OneNote thing again so you guys can see this. So here is the significance of being able to go over these sleep hacks. And so just a couple of them I want you guys to remember, okay? I want you guys to think about these little bitty things. No exercise before 4 hours before bed. No caffeine after 2. Focus on what time you wake up, setting an alarm, waking up, and not hitting the snooze button, okay? That will be one thing that you will do that will make a massive difference, okay? Praying before you go to bed makes a massive difference. A hot bath or a shower before you go to bed, okay? Remember, your cold showers are in the morning. If you're going to do a cold shower, make them in the morning, okay? So let me ask you this. I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to go back. Honey, is this the one that you wanted here? You wanted the one on, did you get this? You got this here? Okay. All right. So I'll just give it to you in a minute, okay? So let me just go over, let me talk a little bit about that. So how many of you have maybe attempted to implement intermittent fasting into your regimen? Anybody at all? Okay, Linda has, Gary has. Let me tell you how important this is for your health, okay? I don't care if you do it all the time, but I would like to see you do it at least 3 days a week, okay? And look, you can, I showed you a couple different forms that you can do of this. Let me recap those with you guys, okay? I'm going to pull up my challenge slides so that you guys can see these as I went through them with a group of people just this last week. So here's our 10 sleep hacks. You guys are going to see these for the first time. These are some new slides. I don't know why that pulled up like that, but let me just pull this up for you guys. Okay, so all right, so let's recap these. Set an alarm on your phone to go to bed. Resist the urge to snooze. 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep. Let me encourage you about this, guys. I crashed last night, okay? I forgot some things in a conversation that I never do. I haven't done in 15 years because I just had been going and not sleeping enough, okay? and I changed it, and today was massively productive. You guys can't see, but there's a list of things on here, and every single thing is crossed off today. So I attained and did everything I did. Why? Because I got 7.5 hours of sleep last night. Okay. So, and this eliminating caffeine thing, I added some stuff to this, and I wanted to show you guys this. I wanted to show you what caffeine does. Now, look, if you've been drinking caffeine all your 20 years, 30 years, or 40 years, and it hasn't affected you, then it's okay to do that. But I want to tell you to try not to. There's a chemical compound called, and I advanced some of these so you guys get to see some of this more, because I want to recap some of this. There's a chemical compound called adenosine, okay? It's responsible for creating sleep pressure in our brains. It works with the circadian rhythm in your body, okay? I'm sure Dr. Frank can tell you a little bit about this also. Okay, when the pressure builds up enough, that's a signal to our body that we're tired, okay? Caffeine tricks that into thinking that you're not tired by creating a barrier between your brain and that adenosine, okay? There's a sleep scientist that I love to follow. His name is Matthew Walker. He wrote a book called Why We Sleep, okay? Why We Sleep. And I love what he says in here, you guys. I love what he says. All right. And caffeine blocks and effectively innovates. How did you say it, love? Because I say it different than she does. She always corrects me.
Adenosine.
Adenosine. Okay.
Or circadian rhythm.
Okay. Adenosine. Leave it to the nurse to correct the nutritionist, right? And I usually say that right, but I allow her to correct me. You want to say it one more time?
Adenosine.
Adenosine, yeah. Okay, receptors acting as a masking agent. So look at this. All the while, sleep pressure builds up behind this dam of caffeine, and when the dam finally wears down hours later, the big wave of sleep pressure comes in all at once. This process is problematic for people drinking caffeine late in the day. Cut it out if you're doing it, right? Because the dam system stays long into the night, keeping you from sleep pressure that aids your brain in the initial sleep, okay? So I added some stuff to this. Let me just go through this really quick. You guys, most of you guys, look at this. High intensity exercise such as interval training, less than 1 hour before bedtime, took longer to fall asleep and had poor sleep. Here's where I gave you a question today. Light exercise, like walking at nighttime, is great for sleep. Even if it's 15 minutes, okay? Go out 8 minutes and back 8 minutes, okay? All right? It's beneficial. You guys know how I feel about getting up and giving the sun a high five, okay? All right? Keep your room cold and dark, okay? I will tell you, if your room is not dark enough, you can see what this says right here, okay? I'm going to have this downloaded into PDF form by our virtual assistant, and I will give these to you guys because they're advanced and they are phenomenal. I'll just let you guys know I spent 3 weeks doing these, okay? So listen to this. Look at what artificial light can send wake-up messages to your brain. So if your room is dark and a light comes in, which Lisa and I have this funky light out in our living room that keeps coming on at crazy times of the night, which is I call it our poltergeist, but I know that's not funny, but it's connected to somebody else's wavelength, and it just comes on. So sleeping in a colder room, I will just tell you this: a colder room may seem crazy to you, but I'm telling you, it works. Okay. Powering off your devices, you guys know that. Reading a little bit before you go to bed. Guys, look at this study I found in 2019, okay? And this is a study from University of Sussex, showed that 6 minutes of reading reduces stress by 68%, okay? And it said more relaxing than either music or a cup of tea, thus clearing the mind and readying the body for sleep. Okay, and I always say this, Ephesians 4:26, and in your anger do not sin, do not let the sun go down while you're still angry. I believe that's for all of us. Okay, and then a hot bath or shower at night. Showering or bathing is good way to unwind and release muscle tension, which aids in sleep. 90 minutes before bed, the body naturally cools down at bedtime and approaches the sync in circadian rhythm. Okay, I said it right. Yay. Okay. So here's some bonus sleep hacks that I shared with you guys. A tranquility blanket. Lisa and I use it. There's a study. This is such a cool thing. I don't know if you guys have, how many of you are familiar with a tranquility blanket? Raise your hand. Okay, Frank is. Does anybody have one? Okay, Frank has one. Okay. I didn't see, did Madeline raise her hand? I didn't see. Does she has one too? Okay. You have the 18 pounder, Frank? And she has the 12 pounder? Oh, okay. She has the 6 pounder? She has the 18 pounder too? Oh, wow. Okay. So I have the 12. Gary's looking at me like, you're crazy. I have the 18 pounder. Lisa has the 12 pounder. I will tell you this, one time she switched and it wasn't good. She's like trying to pull the thing up in the middle of the night, right? Like 18 pounder. But look at this study that came out in 2019. Okay. Look at this, you guys. It says 72% of participants using a gravity blanket. And I think there was about 500 people in the study. Okay. Reported, listen to this, reported more restful sleep, and 76% said they were able to fall asleep faster. Okay. Now I'll just tell you this. They're not that expensive. I think you can, maybe my wife can correct me, but I think you can get them at Walmart for like 20 or 25 bucks.
Maybe a little bit more than that, but
maybe
yeah,
a little bit more than
bad.
that. Okay. She said maybe a little bit.
But
I saw them on sale a couple weeks ago, I think for like 25 or 30 bucks.
I would recommend getting like a cooling,
you're muted.
What's it, bidet cover or whatever to go over them because they are
You're muted,
warm,
honey.
and so you need a special thing to keep them cool.
Babe,
and
you're muted.
I am?
She's good.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
Can
everybody else hear her okay?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I can't hear her.
Sorry.
Selective hearing.
I do it all the time.
Saying that they do get warm, and so you can get, I got on Amazon a cover to put over it that actually does help it stay cool, and it works quite a bit. And I will say, normally it used to take me about 30 to 40 minutes, 45 minutes sometimes to fall asleep.
Cut in half.
And I can actually I'm typically falling asleep in less than 30, between 25 to 30, which is still kind of long, but it's definitely better than 45.
Absolutely. All right. Today, I promised you guys I'm going to talk a little bit about exercise. So I am. Okay. So let me pull this back up. So guys, I know that this is a crazy topic for some of you, and then I'm going to do a little bit more recap at the end, but I wanted to kind of switch it up a little bit today because I don't want to overwhelm with too much recap at the beginning. So I want to save some for the end. Okay. And then I'm going to go over our scriptures at the end also. But I want you guys to just realize that after 20, now almost 29 years of working with thousands and thousands and thousands of clients in the gym, out of the gym, virtual, I have really dug into the importance of, I work with a lot of the older population too. And one of them is a minister that I just told you about that just hired me. And she's like, Michael, I just don't think I'm going to exercise. And then I said, well, what if you prophesied it over me and you only told me half of what you were supposed to tell me? She said, I can't believe you just said that. I just used back on her what she would have used on me, right? So she goes, you mean I'm really going to have to exercise at 70 years old? I said, yeah. So I told her an example of my friend Bill, who's 71, who's a lawyer and who hired me for a year to coach me. And he's like, the best thing I ever did was start getting up at 5:30 in the morning and exercising. He's 71. They told him he had 6 months to live. Now his doctor told him he's going to live to be 100. He works out every morning from 5:30 to 6, sometimes 6:15. If he goes for a walk, if it's his list day, he does 30 minutes of HIIT training 3 days and 3 days of list training. I'm going to teach you what list training is. I'm going to teach you what HIIT training is. Okay. And trust me, guys, this will radically change your life. Okay. I'm telling you. And some of you maybe you have some limitations from health issues or that. Try to, talk to me about that. Send me a text, send me an email, but try to start implementing a little bit of this HIIT and list training, whether it's in the pool or it's at home, just with some bands. Guys, bands, I I have one of my fittest clients that I'm working with right now that travels a lot and has a band set. And I showed him a band workout that he does traveling. And so that's what I told Patricia. I told her assistant, Marcella, today to go buy some of these bands so that they can pack them and then they can just do band workouts. And I showed them exactly, because I have a platform of band workouts that they can do. Guys, it's really simple. It's 30 minutes. Even if you just did 30 minutes every day, your life would radically change from a health standpoint. You know, and it's the same thing that Patricia said. You're going to make me exercise. I don't like to exercise. Yes, yes, and yes. So it's like I said a couple weeks ago, you know, my grandmother used to say, you know why you can't lead a horse to water? You can't make them drink, but you can lead them there, because they resist when you push their head down in the water, right? And then they resist, and then you just get tired of trying to put their head down in the water. So let's go over this list training and
salt their oats. They'll get thirsty.
I don't know why I can't hear you. It's probably because you're downstairs, but I can't hear words you're saying.
I said salt the oats. The horse will get thirsty sooner or later.
Okay. So I must be having problems because I unplugged my mic and plugged it back in. I don't think I can hear if somebody says something, I probably won't be able to hear them. So you'll just have to tell me what people are saying if they say something. Okay. So here is what I've found is best when it comes to allowing you to find out what's best for you. Okay. HIIT is it, or high intensity interval training has been on the rise when it comes to losing weight, losing fat, significantly for people. Like I can tell you this, my 71-year-old client that does this 3 days a week, 3 days a week and walks 3 days a week, lost 40 pounds. I have another friend of mine that I coached. If you ever see any of my ads, his name is Mike Weingarten. He tried to lose weight for 20 years, just capped the 60-pound mark just from minimal exercise a couple days a week, okay? High intensity one day, list the next. High intensity then one day, list the next. And I'm going to tell you briefly about those as we go through this. So today we're just going to briefly discuss the differences between the two. If you look at this slide over here on the right, it says HIIT training is efficiency, requires very little time commitment, 3 days a week of 20 to 30 minutes. Promotes sustainable weight loss. More calories are used due to the high intensity and repair and recovery. Metabolism is increased, production of human growth hormone, reduction of cortisol, which all of you struggle with cortisol. We all do. And then produces better fitness gains in both aerobic and aerobic zones. And then list training, we're going to talk about here in a second. So, so just look at the differences. Okay, list is cardio. It's often done for 30 to 60 minutes. Same thing, it's walking with the goal of sustaining a low energy output for the entire time. It's really a recovery active walk or a recovery active swim or a bike. I will do one of these tomorrow, weather permitting. Lisa and I did one of them, which it got pretty tough at some points because we went into some hills, but you know, you can do a rowing machine, or you can swim, or you can do a brisk walk. You know, we did a 20-mile bike ride on Saturday. Okay. And then HIIT workouts are often done for fewer than 30 minutes with the goal of exhausting the body to burn more calories. Okay. I can tell you this, you can burn as a male about 600 plus calories in the 30 minutes. And as a woman, you can burn about 300. Okay. Where the other list training, you can do that, but it'll take a little bit longer. Okay. Some examples are like squats, circuit training, going up and down the stairs. I have stairs in my house. I can tell you that I have a client of mine that is 73, and he uses the stairs wherever he goes. And when he's traveling, he will do a workout with the stairs. He'll have them put him on either the 5th or 6th floor. He'll set a timer, and he'll go up and down the stairs for 20 to 30 minutes. And then he'll do some abs, and he's done. I'm just telling you, I'm showing you ways for you not to make excuses to not exercise. Okay. Okay. Here's the difference in the heart rate that you're going to feel. I would tell you to wear a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or something where you can record your heart rate. your heart rate is at 60 to 70% of your max. That's 220 minus your age times 60 to 70%. This can be tracked with a fitness watch, as I said, a heart rate monitor, or by your rate of exhaustion. If 60 to 70% is really easy, you should be able to talk like I'm talking right now, okay? HIIT workouts are a little bit more. You should be a little bit winded. I tell people when I'm doing them, I can talk, but don't talk to me. Okay. I hired a couple people to work for us at the gym. They're the head trainers at the gym over here. He always comes over to me and says, what are you doing today? HIIT training or list training? I'll know whether to talk to you or not. And we laugh about it. And goal range for HIIT is 70 to 90% of your maximum heart rate. Same thing, 220 minus your age times 70 to 90%. Okay. If you're a little bit older, that'll be a little bit lower. Okay. But just try it, you guys. Wear a heart rate monitor, drink a lot of water. Okay. You also notice faster increase in sweat production during a HIIT workout than compared to a list workout. Okay. Which burns more calories? Just the study found that in obese women, and everybody asks me this, I'm just going to offer it. If they say overweight is 25 pounds, obese is over 40 pounds. Okay. That's my indication. A lot of people say it's less. They say overweight is 15 and obese is 30. I don't look at it like that. So but you can look at it however you want to look at it. This is the study found that burning more abdominal fat than list workouts, this is often attributed to two factors: intensity and duration. Since HIIT workouts are shorter, they require less time in one's busy schedule, making it easier to stick with the routine. Moreover, since the work is done in a short period of time and more intense, fat and calories can be burned more efficiently. When Lisa and I were having our house remodeled, we stayed at an extended stay, and we stayed on the 4th floor. The only time we ever used the stairs was when we moved in and when we moved out because we had a cart. We were on the 4th floor. We never used the elevator. So if you can try to start doing that, some of you may have bad knees, and that I totally understand that. But if you can start to get some fluid and some activity going, I'm telling you, to make a massive difference. HIIT trainings are often a result of excessive post-oxygen consumption, which means that your body may still be burning calories after a tough workout. This occurs from HIIT workouts because they are more anaerobic, resulting in lower oxygen intake and increasing the exercise. As your body recovers from the workout and returns to these oxygen levels, get back to normal, it is actively burning calories. This is such a good thing. I can tell you this. It's almost like a feeling of euphoria. Some days I will do longer HIIT training workouts depending on my time frame that I have. And sometimes I feel like I could do them for 2 and 3 hours. Okay. Now it's just me. I'm not telling you to do that. It's not something I tell people to do, but it's just a feeling that you get, and it's just incredible. This effect is not usually prominent in list workouts, leading many of you to believe that HIIT workouts are more effective. Okay. Here's a little bit more about the HIIT and lists. Main source of energy is glycogen, which is carbohydrates. So you're burning carbohydrates. Performed in short, fast bursts, continued to burn calories for up to 48 hours after the session. That's why it's good to do them every other day. Okay. Can take less than 30 minutes. Main source of energy in lists is fat. Okay. Performed for long, continuous duration, only burns calories for the duration of the session. Takes longer than 30 minutes. Okay. All right. So let me ask, does anybody have, let me stop sharing. Does anybody have any questions so far about what I shared about list training or HIIT training? If you do, just unmute yourself and ask. Anybody have a question about it? And if you want, if anybody is confused about some workouts, I will, honey, why don't you drop the PDF? It's in the drive. I pulled it up today. The PDF for the HIIT training workouts, okay? I'm going to give you guys a gift today. So guess what? Everybody that participated in the quiz today gets a gift, okay? I'm going to give you a gift that's inside some of my courses. That's a HIIT training workout that you can do on your own. If you have a little gym where you live, or if you go to the gym, Miss Linda has a place right across the street from her now that we discovered. And guys, there's always someone that can help you if you're confused, okay? You have all of us here. You have me and you have Lisa. And I'll just tell you, please take some of this and take some action on it. I'm telling you, it will radically change your life. Just 30 minutes every other day, right? 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. It's amazing. I have a lady in Arkansas who has no thyroid. She's 64. Okay. She says, Michael, I feel like I have a thyroid and I know I don't have one, but I feel like I did. And all I'm doing is 30 minutes of exercise 5 days a week in the morning. And she said, I hate you, but I love you. I hate you, but I love you. Right. And this is a person that said, I'm just going to be honest with you. You know, she has her little Arkansas twang, right? She said, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm probably not going to do it. I'm probably not going to do it. And now she's doing it. Right. And she just went through one of her busiest seasons. I didn't even know this. I think I shared this with you guys, that Arkansas is one of the largest producers of rice in the world. I didn't even know that. Right. I didn't know that. So I just found that out. And so I know where I'm gonna get some good rice at if I need it. Okay. My wife put the link for the PDF down in the comments. If you guys want to click that on and save it, there's videos on there. So if you're like, well, Mike, it just tells me words. There's a little video on there that you can click. Did you put that one on there? Please tell me you put that one on there, babe. Did you put the one with the videos on there? Honey? Did you put the one with the videos on there? Okay. So if you pull it up, you'll be able to click on the little, if you go over the little piece at the end of each of the workouts, it's me teaching you how to do the exercises. Okay. So you don't have to guess. All right. She just put that one back down in there now. Okay. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay. Who has ever done a HIIT training workout? Raise your hand. Okay, Miss Lori. I knew you were going to raise your hand, Lori. Eddie has. All right. And Miss Lori, would you say you have benefited from it tremendously from doing those type of workouts? Do you want to comment? Here, let me ask you. Let me unmute you. Here, I unmuted you.
Okay.
Tell me about your experience.
Well, I used to actually teach aerobics.
I'm not able to hear her. Hold on one second, you guys.
Okay.
Am
I unmuted?
No. Miss Lori, talk again. Let me see if I can hear you now.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Wow. This is unreal. I've never had this problem before in all of my time that I've.
Hey, Eddie.
Hey, Lori. I can hear you.
System.
I think everybody else can too.
I used to
you can
teach
talk
aerobics.
and everybody else can hear you.
So I believe in it for sure. I actually wrote a homeschool physical education that the YMCA endorses. So I believe in it. Can anybody hear me?
Thank you. I'm so sorry, Lori, that I couldn't hear you.
And Michael has
hear it during the recording. Eddie, okay, everybody else could hear her.
Okay.
Yep, there she goes.
Okay, I don't know what happened. I can't hear anybody. And I just double checked all of my settings.
Sorry. I'll bet you can hear Lisa.
I can hear Eddie now. Okay. I'm just going to listen to you guys on Lisa's computer. I don't have any idea what's happened. It's
technical difficulties. It's normal.
Yeah, you think? All right, let me check something here real quick, and then I'll just move on. Sorry, you guys. Same as the system. I don't know. This is not good for me because I have recordings tomorrow all day, so I'll have to figure it out before I go to bed. All right. So let me go on. Let me go back over and just finish up with a couple of our. Hold on one second. Where is the This is not good. Sorry, guys. Lisa can tell you, I do not like not being prepared. I am like. No, I'm not muted. Okay, so let me go back over. I want to go back over just a couple things of from week 4 and week 5. I'm going to go over week 5. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the differences between food sensitivities, Yes, let me do that first. Okay, I'm going to finish with that. I'm so glad you brought that up. Let me go over the intermittent fasting again really quick, because I told you guys I want you guys to implement that. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, so let me pull that up for you guys. Here it is. All right, here we go. All right. Can you guys see the intermittent fasting on my screen right now? Gary, can you guys see it okay? What do you see? No? What do you see?
Yeah.
God, how can I not hear anybody? Can you guys see it now?
Yes.
Yes, we
Okay.
can see.
Sorry, guys. This stinks. Kind of scary because I've never had this problem on this computer before, especially on Zoom. Okay, so we know that intermittent fasting is a term. I need to be able to hear everybody. What is intermittent fasting is an umbrella for various eating plans for periods of fasting and non-fasting over defined periods of time. Okay, so here's the type of one that I do, and this is what I would recommend that you do. And then I would tell you if this one doesn't fit your schedule, then use one of the other two. But I will tell you this is the most effective one, the 16-8 method. That means that you're fasting. You're eating from at your first meal at 12 till 8, and then you don't eat till 12 the next day. Okay. And then the following day you eat normally. So you want to do this, some people ask, can I do this all the time? There's difference of opinions of whether you can or not. A lot of people do. I don't think you should. That's just my opinion. I think you should do it 3 to 4 days a week, but just like Lisa said, just listen to your body. Okay. Here's the one that my chiropractor does. He does the eat, stop, eat method. This involves fasting for 2 days where you eat absolutely nothing. So like a Tuesday and a Thursday, you fast and you drink nothing but lemon water all day. Okay. And then you guys know that there's a number of things that happen from intermittent fasting. Let me just see what I lost here. Okay. The last one that it's not on here, but it'll be added on here tomorrow, is the 5-2 method. The 5-2 method means on Tuesday and Thursday, you eat for a woman, you would eat 400 calories. For a man, you would eat 800 calories. Okay. So you would eat 400 calories for a female, and you would eat 800 calories for male. So you'd eat every couple hours, 200 calories. Okay, so for a woman, you'd eat 150 times 3 or somewhere in that range. That's what I tell people to do if you're going to do that. My chiropractor does the 5-2 method also. He loves that one. I don't like either one of those, but you just have to kind of figure out what's best for yourself, okay? So, and some of the things I like about intermittent fasting, and we'll just recap these real quick. Great for digestive. If you have blood sugar problems, they're great for improving your blood sugar. They've proven in studies to improve memory, increase lifespan, okay, help you with gut optimization, boosting your moods and balancing your digestive, and increasing your immune system, you guys. What do we need more than anything right now? And that's increasing our immune system, okay? In fact, without the good guys in our digestive tract, we'd be hard-pressed to achieve any sort of vitality. One of the most important things that I hear from every person, I have 5 really high influential people that I follow. I don't follow everybody. And they all say that intermittent fasting should be a massive piece during your life. Here's 2 people that that are 2 clients of mine. Larry Witt used to weigh 300 pounds. He's now done several Ironmans. He's had several back surgeries. He now weighs right about 200 pounds. He actually did an Ironman and placed 5th in the over 200 pound people at 10 hours and 30 minutes. And his goal was to break 13 hours. I trained him for that Ironman, and he beat it by 2 hours and 30 minutes. Dr. Borland is also somebody who is a big advocate now. She is a holistic health coach now. She was a breast cancer doctor, a client and business partner of Lisa and I's for many, many, many years. And she just recently retired and kind of got out of medicine, is now doing preventative medicine. So we're pretty good on time now. So I'm going to pull up our scriptures, and I'm going to finish with that. Let me ask you a question. Does anybody? I would like for this to be a little more interactive. If you guys have questions when you're going through the week, write them down and respond back to us in email. Okay, it's really simple. Does anybody have a question right now? You can unmute yourself and ask a question. Has anybody tried intermittent fasting? Does anybody have any anything negative that they've experienced or anything? Does anybody have a question? Anybody at all? Nobody? All right, Miss Lori, go ahead.
Am I unmuted?
Yes, you're unmuted. I can hear you.
Okay. My question is, I've always learned that, I mean, obviously fasting for spiritual reasons we've done, but I always thought from nutritionalists, because I taught an obesity program in the Lake County area. I don't know, I think it was like around 2004. And I was told that, watching calories and things was not like a wise thing to do. Can you explain to me why they're saying like 400 calories sounds like little?
Yeah, well, that's yeah, well, that's a that's during the 5-2 method. So they want you to do normal calories for 5 days and then lower calories for 2 days. It's very similar to fasting. You're just not eating as much calories. So if you were, so it's what it's doing, Lori, is it's increasing your sirtuins. What sirtuins is what reduces, is very similar to intermittent fasting, but it's done naturally, okay, by you really starving the body of food. So instead of eating from your normal intake and fasting and eating for 8 hours, you're just eating a couple little 200-calorie meals during those 2 days so that your body is reducing the calories. It's the same. It's a completely different fast.
No, it's a completely different goal. When you're teaching the obese people and stuff, you don't want their mindset focused on that because it's much difficult.
Right.
So when you're doing it for this reason and you're shifting over, it's a different mindset. So you don't want, somebody who is intentionally trying to lose weight and do what they can do to lose that weight. They don't want
that clarifies it.
That part of it.
Yeah. Does that get it?
That's excellent, because I think that was my hang up right there was like, I don't think that I'm supposed to get hung up on thinking of calories, but that you explained that well. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you. So if you're really going to do intermittent fasting, I would, and I'm glad, Laura, you brought that up. I would tell you to just stick with the 16-8 method. Okay. It's the most simpler one that you can do. And I would tell you that just, if you have questions, just ask, right? I will tell you this. I've told my mom and my stepdad to do it. They started doing it, and they said it's the best thing they've ever done. So they don't eat their first meal until 11. They eat their last meal at 7:30. Okay? They start eating at 11. They end at 7:30. They don't eat till 11 the next day. Now, they do it every day. I'm not going to try to correct them and change them. They've got something down right that they're doing. They both look incredible. I think my mom's lost about 30 pounds, and my stepdad's lost about 20. So, and it will break through some plateaus with some people, Lori, and people who have struggled with with their weight all the time. A lot of people get to that point to where they're like, I just can't lose any more weight, right? Well, when they start to do this intermittent fasting intermittently, their body, it shakes up the body and shakes up the metabolism. So it's really turning on. If you guys, I'll teach on this next week. I'll teach on sirtuins next week and teach you guys a little bit how to increase your body sirtuins naturally. There's 2 ways. Lisa and I take a supplement that's NAD supplement. It actually increases up and we're going to talk a little bit about supplements. So if you guys have questions about supplements next week, we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm gonna recap some of the in details of the gut. I put together a new gut program that I'm going to teach you guys next week to kind of optimize your gut a little bit. Miss Terry, did you have a question? Go ahead, unmute yourself. You gonna mute her, honey? You're unmuted. No, you're not now.
Is that better? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. When you said like your mom and dad, the first meal at 11, they ate at 11 and they ate like lunch, or they just ate at 11 and then 7:30? Yeah? Did you get that? No? Hello? Did I lose you guys?
Michael, I
hear-
think you're muted.
Oh,
Michael's
am I-
muted.
Oh, Michael's muted.
Michael's muted.
Oh. Michael.
Michael,
Hello?
you're muted.
Oh,
There you go.
I didn't want the feedback, you guys. So you're just going to have to give some you're going to have to grace me a little bit. I don't know what's happening with these mics, but what you're going to do is like with my dad. Well, I'll use Gary for instance. Let's say give Gary
Yeah.
2,000 calories a day. Okay.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, you're going to eat from 11 to 7:30 those calories. If I'm him,
Oh.
I break those up into 4 meals. Okay. 3 meals of about 500 to 600 calories, and then 1 meal of about 300 to 400. Okay.
Gotcha.
And then,
Okay.
and then that
Yeah.
breaks it up. All right.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have a question on that?
I
Ms. Pat,
do.
go ahead.
So I have to eat as soon as I get up in the morning. I feel like I've got low blood sugar, hypo. And it's never been tested, but it's just the way it is. Breakfast is the most important meal. But I could easily quit eating by 3 o'clock, which would be an 8-hour fast. Or I could do the little meals and keep it under 400 to 450 calories and still feel good.
Guys, I'm going to talk over here on my wife's computer so you guys can hear me. I would say for you to do the first one. I would tell you to do the have your breakfast and stop eating at 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock. That's what I would do, because I think that sometimes people are hungry because either they're dehydrated or they've just been in that mode for such a long period of time, or they're hypoglycemic, or maybe they're pre-diabetic or they're diabetic, right? But I know people that have started to get into that form of intermittent fasting from 11 to 7:30, and they're fine. So it's up to you, Pat. Just try it. Journal how you feel, and then you can you journal how you feel, and then you can just communicate with us, and I'll help you through that process.
Well, I generally don't eat after 4 o'clock or so anyway.
That's awesome. That's 8 hours. If you can do that and then wait again, that's 8. That's 16/8. That's perfect.
That's my normal lifestyle.
That's perfect. That's awesome. Does anybody else have a question about that? All right, I'm gonna go back over here. You can mute that. All right, I'm gonna go over our scriptures real quick. You have the,
Yeah.
okay.
The scripture this time.
Let me go over our scriptures here just really quick. I think I have it on here, honey. Let me just look and see. It crashed. All right, guys, I do not have them on here. That PowerPoint crashed. No wonder. It probably the reason why my mic and stuff wasn't working. So I am going to have. Do you have the scripture? The Revelation?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have Lisa pull that up for you guys. Just give me 30 seconds. I know we started a little. I usually end on time at 8, but give me 3 more minutes, okay? If you guys can. I'm going to try to see if I can
Revelation 3:8, we already
pull
have
up
it.
my. Okay, I got it. I was able to find it.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
But not that scripture.
Oh, okay.
All right, let me go over our scriptures real quick with you guys, and then we'll take off. And then does anybody, if you have prayer requests, could you please do me a favor and type them down in the chat right now as I'm going over these? All right. So you guys know my group. My group scripture is, therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is our true form of worship. You heard Pastor talk about worship this past weekend. You know, I think it's very important that we make this part of our worship. We make our health part of our worship. Okay? Eat or drink, whatever you do, all to the glory of God. Okay? 1 Corinthians 10:13, whatever you do. God's temple is sacred, and remember you are a temple, right? Isn't that awesome? Your body is a temple. Okay, for what you were bought at a price, therefore honor God in your body. 1 Corinthians 6:20. Guys, one of the things I've shared about my several friends of mine that I do accountability calls with, we talked about how important it is that as men and women of God, that we hold ourselves accountable to taking care of our health. And so I just want to honor all of you, that you guys take the time to be on, and it just encourages me. So I am going to turn this over to my wife. I'm going to mute myself, and I'm going to let her go over our Revelation scripture. How many of you know the little signs and symbols that Pastor's been doing? Does anybody? Gary's probably on that every morning. He probably knows them by now, right? No, okay, he's getting them up. He's getting them ready. I'm not very good at them, so I'm going to let Lisa do them. All right, here we go.
All right. Whoops. There. I think I'm unmuted, right? Okay, good.
All right. Here we go.
I see what you have done. Now see I have done. I've opened a door before you that no one can slam shut. You don't have much strength. I know that. You used what you had to keep my word. You didn't deny me when things were rough.
Yes. All right, good. All right, cool. All right, we struggled. We struggled through it. All right, we struggled through it. So, guys, thank you so much. We'll get the recording out to you. I'm going to stop the recording.